Hello everybody and welcome back to NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. It is time for what is labeled as Week 7, but is Race 4 for the NASCAR Gander Outdoor Truck Series, or RV and Outdoor Truck Series, I guess. It is the Homestead Miami Speedway Ford EcoBoost 200. Now, Homestead has always been one of my favorite tracks, both in real life and in the video game world. Especially to drive on. It's just such a fun track. It reminds me of the days of old for tracks where it didn't have to have a D or a dog leg or something. It could just be an oval track, like the old Atlanta. Unfortunately, qualifying not going too well for us. We're going to be 27th. Rafael Lessard, Austin Wayne Self around us. But we usually race a lot better than we qualify. So green flag is out and we are racing at Homestead. Now, I don't believe the trucks even ran Homestead in 2020 during the pandemic. I know the Xfinity Series did a doubleheader and Cup ran, but I don't think the trucks raced. I could be wrong. Someone correct me on that if I am wrong, but I don't remember a truck race this year. If so, I certainly don't remember a night race. But green flag is out. We're already working on the KBM truck. Going to work on the O2 now down to the inside. Creed up on the way high side there. Definitely early in the going here. Truck seems very tight. And I'm just going through the camera stuff because it's actually been a little bit since I've played this game, so I had to remind myself what all the buttons did. And I was trying to get that HUD stuff pulled up, but I kept hitting the button for the camera. But you can see right there, the truck getting really tight on us on the entrance of 1 and 2. I can't quite tell if it's something to do with the way I'm driving into the corner or if it's the truck. I don't think I'm driving any different than I have been. But like I said, it's been a little bit since I've played. So maybe it's something to do with me. But Self, they're going to get to our inside now. I tried backing up the corner there a little more. So, trying to take it easier in. But the trucks still seem pretty tight. So I'm thinking it's a combination. But mainly I'm thinking the truck's a little tight on us. So we're going to look to the inside. Self's going to block us off there. But we're still going to get to the inside. I believe that's Majeski in the 45. It's either that or it is Ross Chastain, but I think that's Ty Majeski. Now we're going to have a huge run down the back straight. We're going to look the inside of Austin Wayne Self. And we're going to go 3 wide with one of the KBM trucks on the high side, sliding up the track just a little bit. Maybe we can get it through there. We seem to be okay there. We're going to be 3 wide again as we have Raymui. I don't quite know how to pronounce his name. I apologize. Josh, I know is his first name. The 33 truck, we're going to get to his inside along with Natalie Decker. She's getting shuffled back and all that. And Self just following us through. So we actually make contact with the 33, put him in the wall a little bit. And it doesn't seem like it hurt our truck too much, so we're going to be okay there as we are closing in on the end of this stage. As Self, once again, to our inside. He's just, hounding us. We are not able to get rid of him so far in this race. As we battle now for the 17th position. 2 laps to go in the stage, and it is a big gap to the cars up in front of us, so we're pretty much just going to be racing Austin Wayne Self maybe, but we're just going to follow him, see if he can maybe drag us up to the cars in front of us, but only 2 laps to go, a lap and a half now left in the stage, so not too worried about it. Gained about 10 spots from where we started, which is, what we need in the first stage, so if we can continue to move up by that much, we should be good throughout this race. But of course, we are only in a 3-star equipment truck, front row motorsports, only a 3-star truck team. As 2020, I believe, was their first year in the truck series with Gil Linden, of course, were his teammate. So we're not expected to run up in the top 10. After all, our goals are only for the top 20. But even if we finish in the top 20 in this race, we have completely failed that objective with our horrid luck so far. Just terrible run at Daytona. What was it? Vegas spun out and crashed out. And then, of course, Atlanta, our only top 20 finish so far, was a victory. But stage 1 comes to a completion. We finished P17, Austin Wayne Self right ahead of us, and then Ankrum up in 15th. And it looks like everyone's going to pit, so we're going to do the same. And going to just bring the right front up just a little bit, see if it kind of helps with that launch off, see if it's a little less tight on the start, because towards the end of the run, it started to feel relatively okay. It was really on the beginning of the run where the truck really seemed to struggle with the grip and really wanted to push up high on the track. We actually gain a spot passing self, I should say, in the pits there as we head now into turn 1. Green flag back in the air. Johnny Sauter continuing to lead. Spencer Boyd in the Hair Club Chevrolet going to kind of block us in a little bit there. We're going to get into the back of him. Look to his inside. There's Zane Smith in the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas Chevrolet. Going to look to his inside, see if we can get something done there. And it looks like he's still to our outside, and he's going to lose quite a few spots as Ankrum gets into the back of us. Now, it says he was our drafting partner there, but that really pushed us up the track. That actually was not helpful in the slightest as they're 3 wide behind us. Self once again looks to our inside, but we're just going to chop him off there. And we're going to do it again there on the edge of the corner, and it's something that's helpful for the player, but one of the gripes I have with this game is the AI aren't that aggressive in terms of that. They could be almost beside you, but if you go over to block them off, they will always give you the space. And that's not how it works in real life. Austin Wayne Self probably would have turned me, whether on purpose or accident right there. And to be honest, that's rather what I'd have from the AI. But, that's something that takes time. This engine, definitely has its limitations. I mean, the F1 games, they've been making those since 2010 at Codemasters. And they only just not even perfected, they've really mastered the AI aggressiveness for defending their position and passing you just within the last couple years. So, I get that, but NASCAR the game probably had some of the most aggressive AI out there, so it'd be kind of nice if we could maybe get back to that in terms of the aggressiveness. To me, it kind of seems like if we could have a mix between NASCAR the game and this game, it would be a really good contender. I've been watching a lot of Real Radman's videos for his career mode on NASCAR the game inside the line, and it really reminded me how actually good that game was, especially after the dumpster fire that was NASCAR the game 2011. But just the AI was its big downfall in that game, as well as just some, obviously the horrid online play, but of course this game also has pretty horrid online. But this game is taking a lot of steps in the right directions. Last couple years, though, it's been pretty much the same, kind of in a situation you'd expect from like an EA or something, where it's just kind of, working it's just not doing much. As we get real close there with Clay Greenfield on the edges of the corners, it looks like once again Ankrum is pushing us through the corners, which is really what I don't want. A drafting partner should only be trying to help you on the straightaways. As he pushes us again, and it's actually pushing us up the track. He's not helping us in the slightest. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Like, I get if you're a draft partner, that's fine, but they really shouldn't program the draft partners to work with you in the corners, because that just doesn't work. So we're just going to let Ankrum by. I am not going to deal with that, because I don't need him pushing me into the wall and causing us a lot of damage. So we're just going to let that slide for now. We're not even going to bother with it. And, we still got a whole nother stage to go. And with the length of this race, that final stage should have a pit stop. So I'm not worried about Ankrum right now. As we slide back to P13, still well and above where we need to be for our goal. And if we can, with the win we have at Atlanta, we need to get decent finishes, probably those top 20 finishes, to work ourselves into the top 20, which is, I believe, what we need to get into the playoffs. So now on the last lap of the stage, a whole bunch of cars on the inside. Ankrum slows down. One car really slow, and that's Gilliland, our teammate. I believe he's just blown an engine, and he has. Checkered flag, caution is out. Green and white flag, I should say. And it looks like Gilliland's going to be out of the race, which is not what we need from our teammate. I don't believe our cars can have engines expires. I think F1's really the only game where that happens. So, we don't have to worry about that, but that really does suck for our teammate to be out of the race within stage 2. Made another adjustment to the car there to try to loosen it up just a little bit more as we take the green flag for the final stage of the race. 17 laps in this stage. We are definitely going to need a pit stop, as I believe it's somewhere between 12 to 15 laps we can go on a tank of fuel. It's not going to be like Atlanta where it's going to be really close. It's, you pretty much have to pit. Of course, Atlanta was a lot more about the tire wear than the fuel. Now as we head into turn 3 here, we're going to be underneath Austin Wayne's self, and I feel like I just cannot escape him throughout this race, just constantly there. Mr. 2 is inside, coming out of the corners. We battle for P9. And if we could finish in the top 10 here, that would be an absolutely fantastic result for us. You know, like I said, we need to get points right now. We have our win. We just need to get solid results to get us up in the points. That's really all we need to make sure we are in the playoffs, as we have the guaranteed ticket with the win. Unfortunately, you do need points, and you know this truck really struggles in qualifying, which makes our races so much harder. And we're able to get up to these higher spots around the top 10, but with how bad, I don't know what it is. Maybe the horsepower is something that they limit on these lower tier cars, but it just really struggles this. Oh God, Ankrum is once again listed as our drafting partner. I kind of try to cut off Ross Chastain there to try to get away from Ankrum, but it just doesn't work, and he gets in the back of us again and slides us up the track. And I just go down. I actually got loose there, so I end up going down to the inside, try to save it. Give him a little bump there, because he's really starting to tick me off with the way he's driving here. Because now we got Tanner Gray and Austin Hill behind us. So P12 still pretty good for us, as we're 9 laps of fuel right now. And as we come across the line, it's going to be 14 to go. So, you know, we might be able to actually pit here pretty soon if we want to try to avoid the traffic. So it might be something we need to start thinking about. You know, it's just something we don't, I don't know what the magic number to pit is, and I don't know when the AI is going to want to pit us. There's more smoke in front of us, and usually that means a blown engine. Is Stuart Friesen way off the pace? I mean, he hasn't spun out. A lot of the guys, when they have the engine problems, spin out in the corners, but he's actually coming to pit road, so I don't know if it's an engine problem or what, but he is way off the pace with 13 now to go. So we'll see if he exits the pit. If he doesn't, it's an engine, and it's kind of weird. It'd be the one time in this game they don't have the caution come out when an engine expires, or they just don't lose control. So who knows? Maybe it was a tire issue. As now Ankrum once again gonna try to push us as we head into turn 3. I'm gonna go way to the inside here, as he's kind of stuck up high, but I pushed it so deep into the corner there. We ended up sliding up the track anyway, but luckily we didn't have to deal with it. Unfortunately, now it looks like Tanner Gray going to try to look to our inside, but not able to get it done right there with now 12 to go in this race. Meanwhile, up at the front, Johnny Sauter continuing to lead the race. He has just had no competition today so far. As taking a look at our tires here, yeah, I was thinking maybe we could just do fuel when we pit, but that right rear is starting to look bad, and that's what cost us in Atlanta. You know, in Atlanta, the fuel was fine, so we didn't have to pit, and that was our concern. Here, we're going to have to pit. And I have 4x wear on for the 25% races to try to match it up to what it would be in real life. And I'm thinking we're going to have to take over a can. So it would probably just make sense to take right side tires, especially, you know, with 6 laps of fuel left. If it was 6 laps to go in the race, I'd say, yeah, maybe we could make it on that tire. But with around 10 to go, I just don't think that tire is going to work for us. Also, looking at the bottom of the screen here, Stuart Friesen has left the pits. In fact, it looks like he's now in front of Johnny Sauter. So it must have just been a tire issue or something for Stuart Friesen. I have not actually really heard of that. The only problems I've seen the AI have been engines, and it's kind of like the NASCAR Thunder type games, you know, where it was guaranteed you'd have the AI lose an engine every race. As we get really loose out of turn 2. Holy crap, we went right into the side of Austin Hill. Didn't mean for that, but we just lost a ton of grip. Tires down to 58. I'm thinking it's time to pit because we are losing grip. We got so loose out of turn 2 there. So here we go. We're going to slow it down, try to bring into the pit road. Don't know where the cone is, and
we got the black flag.
Crap. Well, that's just ruined our race. And that is my own stupidity. I could not get the truck slowed down in time, and now we're going to have to serve a penalty. I can't tell if I like it that the game doesn't have you do a drive-through and instead just does a time penalty. I mean, it's easier probably on the devs. I can't tell if I like it or not. I don't know if that cost us more time or not, but damn it. We had a top 10, top 15 run going for sure. And my stupidity just blew it for us. Daytona, we just didn't have the speed. You know, Vegas, I still don't know what happened. The truck just snapped loose on us. But this one was completely my fault. All right, Johnny Sauter has come across the line. He sweeps the race, all the stages, and the win. Go to him. We got past Angela Ruck. Stuart Friesen had to come down pit road again, but what was turning out to be one of the best races of the season ends up being one of our worst. P28 in a... I'm just so angry at myself. That was... Like, that one's completely on me. That was just bad. So P28. 10 grand for that race. A whopping 12 fans now support us. And we completely failed that objective. Wow, that wasn't even close. All right. Wayne, you're upset with us. Apologize. Spencer Boyd, I don't remember hitting you, but I'll apologize anyway. I mean, I don't want rivals. It just makes it more difficult. So, 4 races in the book and only one good finish, and it's a win. Race 5, what do we got? Texas, Richmond, Dover, Charlotte up next. The easy, top 30. There's only 32 cars, so that's a little too easy. Top 25s, that should be well enough, so we'll go with that. But, yeah, one of my least favorite tracks on the calendar is next in Texas. And we're going to really need to start shaping up here. It's, the truck season's so short. We really need to start putting results together. So, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.